guys, if you're new to Deception Bytes, hit the like and subscribe button and be sure to hit the bell to be notified of future videos. If you wish to support the channel, the links are in the description below. Now, fasten your seatbelt. Here we go. Okay guys, I'm back and I see that you are too, so we can get started. This is the second part of March 9th Q drop, and we are going to get started on that now. It is March 10th and it's 10:08 now Eastern time, and let's go. Just gonna pick right up from where I left off in the last one, and we left off not here but on the next video, or on the next one, and this is again March 9th, and Q says sealed to unsealed, indictments coming. So these sealed indictments are about to be unsealed. Indictments coming, Q. I don't know about you, but this is very good news for me, because I really do believe, and I'm so tired of people saying, oh yeah, Q's always saying this is going to happen and that's going to happen, and it never happens. The people that say that really aren't paying attention, or really have not been following Q at all. Because if you had been following Q, you will see that the very things he talked about a year to a year and a half ago are unfolding, you know, sequentially. And so, yeah, those people that are saying that aren't really paying attention, have a very short attention span, or really just have not been following and just, you know, want to discourage those of us that are following. Not that I believe that Q is my savior. I only have one, and I'm not looking at Q or at President Trump as a savior. But if they are doing good for our country, that is good, and we are to pray for those in authority over us and those in offices above us. You know, we are to pray and to support them, whether we agree with them or not. In this case, for the most part, I think most of us do agree with what Trump is doing and are very grateful for the job that he's done in a very short amount of time. Very short amount of time. So, yeah. And, you know, he's only 2 years through his term, and look at everything that he's done. We've still got another 2 years, and hopefully we'll get another 4 years on top of that. All right. Now we're going to go up to the next one, and it's kind of a large post as well. Now, this is, again, March 9th, and Q is making reference to an old drop of his from August 31st, 2018. So, and beneath this, and I've got it, I clipped it out and made it a little bit bigger, because I know some of you guys, like, I can't even see this. So if I can't see it, surely you can't. And then he links to George Papadopoulos. I said George Papadopoulos. That's right, Papadopoulos. 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 Stop, Mishel. Stop. Papadopoulos. Okay, I'm done. I'm done now. All right, Patriots stand at the ready and prepared for what is about to come. The Great Awakening. Patriots stand at the ready and prepared for what is about to come. The Great Awakening. Q. So let's go down here. First of all, he's reminding us of this old post of his from August 31st. So let's just take a look at what this is. And it's special approval. P72917300939-Z or _Z, setup example 1, Loretta Lynch, paper trail, special entry. Remember the Russian gal, Natalia Veselnitskaya. I probably didn't say that right, but you know. And she was targeting Manafort. FISA warrant issued, approved for Manafort. Mueller then started investigating Manafort. FISA warrant issued, approved for Papadopoulos. That's right, Papadopoulos. Mueller then started investigating Papadopoulos. That's right, I said Papadopoulos. And then there was a FISA warrant issued and approved for Page and Mueller started investigating Page. FISA warrant issued and approved for Flynn. Mueller started investigating Flynn. You must target, remove, and silence all those illegally targeted for FISA surveillance. Plus, UK they assisted in the surveillance as well through Five Eyes. UK assist plus FISA surveillance included all upstream collection. We've talked about upstream collection before. If you are being targeted, then everybody you talk to and are associated with are targeted as well. FISA surveillance included all upstream collection plus tangent contacts. That's called umbrella surveillance because you are the target, but it's like an umbrella over you, encasing everything that is concerning you. Your business dealings, your business associates, your friends, your family, anybody you talk to on a regular basis. Foreign target designators create leapfrog hops to isolate real targets, non-F communicate. Okay, well, I can't remember what all that meant, but then I think we get the general idea here. Underneath, we've got this tweet by, say it with me now, Papadopoulos. That's right, Papadopoulos. George Papadopoulos. People do not understand that the guys the book was thrown at, me, Manafort, Flynn, had FISAs on them. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Did you know that? I mean, remember Q told us it goes both ways. He's told us that many times. So, yeah, isn't that interesting? I think it is. Now, this is interesting because this is a decode of this post right here. And yes, this is an old post, but I stuck this in anyway. It's from an anon, and it's DHS confirmed that Russian lawyer Natalia V. was granted special entry to the U.S. on multiple occasions in 2015 and 16 at the request of Justice Department. V eventually won a non-immigrant work visa. She was allowed to enter the U.S. on multiple occasions between September 2015 and February 2016 under a significant public benefit parole document requested by the Justice Department U.S. Attorney's Office in New York City, worked concurrently on her visa. Loretta Lynch was involved in signing of V's visa application. Paul Manafort was at the June 9th, 2016 meeting at the Trump Tower in New York City to meet with V. Mueller goes after Manafort, who was targeted with a special warrant issued under FISA before and after the 2016 election. The exact dates of the surveillance are unclear. It's been reported that it began sometime after the FBI opened an investigation into his political consulting in 2014, ending in May of 2016, and then resumed sometime after the November election. And I want to tell you, and probably most of you realize this, but in case you don't, these people like Manafort, Flynn, all these people that have been held responsible, Papadopoulos, yes, Papadopoulos, the things they were charged with had nothing to do with Russian collusion. There has been no Russian collusion, and there's been no arrests on Russian collusion. It's all been other ridiculous things that they have been brought to task on. And, people are saying, oh, yeah, Trump's guilty because look, Manafort and Papadopoulos, Papadopoulos, and that proves nothing because these people were not, charged with anything to do with collusion. Anyway, oops, where did I go? Well, there I am right there, but no, where did this go? Here we go. I don't know what I'm doing. Whoever told you I knew what I was doing? They lied. Mueller goes after Papadopoulos. Think logically. If a Papadopoulos conversation in May 2016 was the origin, the source material of the FBI counterintelligence operation, then why were they denied a FISA application in July 2016? After the initial July 2016 FISA court denial, the FBI and DOJ team leaned heavily on the external team of Jacoby, Simpson, Orr, Steele, etc., who created the dossier that enhanced the application that gained the FISA warrant in October. And then Mueller goes after Carter Page in the summer of 2016, the FBI and DOJ demonstrated probable cause that Page was acting on behalf of a foreign state in order to be granted the warrant. Of course, they never proved that. Page was indicted on something totally different. Mueller goes after General Flynn. It's clear that there were abuses of the FISA warrant used to surveil Flynn. The dossier was used as the basis for the application's viability. Flynn has retracted his guilty plea, and Mueller continues to delay legal moves against Flynn. The attempt was made to target, remove, and silence each of those persons illegally targeted under FISA surveillance. With an assist from the UK's intel community, the Five Eyes system was also used. All to, from, or about upstream communications were collected regarding Section 702 selector. That means anyone that even mentions a person name that is under a FISA warrant can be and is surveilled. Now, example. So if person number 1 talks to number 2 and 2 talks to yet another person, we will call 3, and then 3 talks to 4. They all become targets under the umbrella of FISA warrant. With the UK passing metadata through Five Eyes, the FISA law stipulation that no US citizen be surveilled is circumvented. FISA is deconstructed. The use of Five Eyes is enabled a blanket metadata collection of any person, even mentioned a FISA warrant Section 702 selectors person under a warrant name to be surveilled. The deconstruction through foreign surveillance by UK intel enabled bulk collection of non-FISA warrant specific operations, and these directives are classified intel, not publicly available. So they knew how to get around all this. That's why both FBI and DOJ sides of this intelligence operation need to create a false origin. Immediately after Fusion GPS was paid, Glenn Simpson and Mary Jacoby, Fusion GPS patriarchs, hire Nellie Orr. Nellie Orr, Bruce Orr, and Glenn Simpson have known each other for years and have worked on CIA open source projects together for a long time. On June 24th, 2017, Mary Jacoby, a deep part of Clinton's political camp going all the way back to the Rose Law Firm, publicly stated on her Facebook that her work with Glenn is what specifically led to the FBI beginning the Russia probe. And here, the Fusion GPS, Glenn Simpson, Mary Jacoby, Nellie Orr, etc., and subsequently Christopher Steele, origin of the FISA application source material is at risk to the former leadership within the DOJ National Security Division and FBI Counterintelligence Division. So this is very, very detailed of what happened and what led to what and why and how they circumvented the whole darn system. To collect this information on people that really did not deserve to have a FISA warrant given. They did not deserve that surveillance because they did nothing wrong. So let's go on. No, let's. And we're moving up to this. Interesting. Q gives a link to an article on the Daily Beast. We're not going to go out that and read that in depth because he has left just a link to the Twitter. And he says exclusive, 1.5 years behind Anon's. Q, what's he talking about? Well, the Daily Beast is coming out with this information. Exclusive. The DOJ just unearthed a letter Matt Whitaker delivered to the Utah U.S. Attorney directing a review of how the department handled the Clinton Foundation and their Uranium One issues. Well, that's great, but we've known that for a year and a half. We Anons, those of us that have been following this, we've known it all along. And here's the Daily Beast coming out like it's some big new scoop. Like it's some exclusive. And Q's saying, exclusive? Well, you're 1.5 years behind the Anons. Q. And I included this. and this is by The Oppressor Liber from the website Disclosure Italia. Here comes the public disclosure of Clinton being investigated for uranium-1. They are acting like they have an exclusive on this revelation that Whitaker sent letter to Huber directing him to review Clinton Foundation and uranium-1, 1.5 years behind Q telling the Anons. Exactly. See how much information those of us that have been following this, and obviously if you're listening to me, you're following it. Some of you are newer to this, and that's fine. But yeah, see all this information that we've been privy to that we just take for granted. And when it comes out to everybody else, it's like huge news, like what? But yeah. Alrighty. Here's the next one. And of course, it's got this little missile being driven, I guess, by Pepe, and it says "Mother of all bombs." And Q has included this. It's by an anon, and Q has referenced this in his drop. And beneath it, he says, "Anons understand now why we've been targeted daily by the fake news media and shills. Today, they are learning the truth. You have been prepared for what is about to take place. Dark to light. Enjoy the show. Where we go one, we go all. Q." And it's so true. We have been prepared for what is about to happen. We've been being prepared for a year and a half. And you know something? It took a year and a half. It really did. Because if we were to sit down and analyze how much information we've actually been privy to through all this, I think it would blow our minds, because it's like going to school. I remember as a child, my mother was an English teacher, and I remember in public school, she was teaching grade 8 English, and I was in the same public school, of course, because we lived in the same town. I don't know what grade I was in, maybe 3, I don't know. I was young. And I remember I had to go get my mom's signature for something, I don't know. But I went to her classroom, and I had been taught that I don't just walk in my mother's classroom because she's teaching. So I stood there at the door and waited for her to motion me in. So I was looking at what she was writing on the board and everything, and, it seemed so complicated. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, I'm doomed. I'll never get through school. How do people make it to grade 8? How do they get through high school? How do they go to college? I don't understand what she's writing on the board. I don't understand any of this. What's going to happen to me? Literally, I panicked because I thought, oh my gosh, this is so difficult. How am I ever going to? But you know something? By the time I got to grade 8, it was so simple because I was prepared. All that time, I was learning more information and learning more information and learning more information. By the time grade 8 came, I was looking at the English, and I was always way ahead in English. And it was, okay, this is stupid. This is so easy. And same thing with high school and college. I'd always think, when I went to get my master's, I thought, oh, I don't know, master's, that's supposed to be hard. It wasn't. Because I had been prepared by my other degrees. So by the time I got into the master's program, it wasn't any harder than anything else I'd done because I was prepared. And likewise, we've been prepared for a year and a half so that we're up to speed on this. We know what's happening. We know the names involved. We know. And it's when it comes out, we're going to be able to help other people that haven't had the benefit of that. That's why people that have masters and PhDs end up teaching, right? Because they have the knowledge, and other people that are behind them in the knowledge, they end up teaching them so that they too can gain the knowledge that they need to get where they want to go. And that's what's going to happen. So there you are. Okay, let's go on now. I know, I'm talking your hind leg off. I don't know why I do that. All right. Here we go. Now we've got a link to another article by MSN.com, and Q is underneath. He has pulled out what it is that he wants us to know. So I will go out to it, but I'm not going to read it all because Q has already pulled out from the article what it is we need to know. And, you don't want to be here like 3 hours listening to this stuff. And I don't either tonight. I mean, usually doesn't matter. And honestly, if I had the time, I would do a Q-related news because I got a ton of that. But I got to get up at the crack of stupid tomorrow. So, there you are. It exists. This article says it exists. DOJ finds letter ordering scrutiny of uranium-1, Hillary Clinton. So this is the article, and Q has pulled out what it is that we need to know. So we're going to go back to Q. And here we go. It strains credulity. Some words I've told you before. I used to have a speech impediment, and there are still a few words that I just like. It's like I've got, mumble mouth. So to believe that the Justice Department didn't know about this letter when they swore under penalty of perjury that it didn't exist, you don't exactly forget about a formal directive to investigate Hillary Clinton signed by Jeff Sessions, he added. Yeah. Isn't that interesting that the Justice Department didn't know about this letter and they swore under penalty of perjury that it didn't exist? Oops. Somebody's in big, big poo-poo. That's right. I said poo-poo. The fact that they only found it the same week Matthew Whitaker was heading for the exit makes it hard to see DOJ's previous denial as anything but a deliberate attempt to conceal. I would agree. Sessions and Whitaker shouldn't escape accountability by skipping town. Scaramucci model? How do you keep a secret? How do you prevent leaks? Q. Now, I'm going to read this comment by The Oppressor Lieber. I think this guy's pretty smart. Or girl. Could be either. Could be both. All right. Almost seems like Deep State upset the letter ordering investigation into Clinton Foundation and Uranium-1 by DOJ didn't leak to them. Sessions ran a tight ship with no leaks. Whitaker was on background running operation, overseeing Huber the whole time, so he knew entire investigation when took over for Sessions. He was brought in to transition it over and clean house for Attorney General Barr. No leaks at all. Kept tight lid to keep Deep State in the dark because guys like McCabe would have tried to railroad Uranium-1 Clinton Foundation investigation had they been aware. Amazing. So isn't it wonderful that, this is being investigated, it is being dealt with, and I saw a picture of Hillary Clinton today, and let me tell you, it was not a double because she looked horrible. She looked like death walking. No kidding. She looked bad. And if I was able to do the Q-related news, I'd show you, but hopefully when I get back Tuesday, I'll be able to do whatever Q drops are and a Q-related news. I don't know, can't promise, but I'm going to try. All right, let's go on. And here we have the next one, and it says, it has got a link to Sarah Carter's Twitter page and a tweet by her, so let's go ahead and read that. Again, I've clipped it out. A vote for illegals? Speaker Pelosi says new immigrants must not have their votes suppressed. Now, I'm sure all of you have heard that in the news because it's everywhere. And I think I'm probably not the only one that just was like open-mouthed staring at and thinking, oh my gosh, these newcomers mustn't have their votes suppressed. Now, tell me what other country that you can go to as an illegal and just take up residence there illegally and be able to vote. Can you name one? Because I can't. I can't name even one. So, yeah, this is unbelievable. So this says, a vote for illegals. Pelosi says new immigrants must not have their votes suppressed. Nancy Pelosi says the newcomers make America more American. And that means not suppressing the vote of our newcomers to America. So newcomers make America more American? So illegals? Now, I agree. It's great to have immigrants. I don't think that we should outlaw immigrants. Yes, if they're properly vetted and come in and can add to the culture and add to the country, pay their taxes, work, sure, come in, be part of the American dream, help us build America together. That's my view. But do it legally. Go through all the hoops, go through all the checks and balances. Yes, immigration in that way makes America American because really, we're all immigrants. I mean, I'm an immigrant to America. I'm not an immigrant to Canada, and actually, but almost all Canadians are. But because of my native heritage, I'm actually native to Canada, my family, on my dad's side anyway. So, yeah. But that's not how Pelosi feels. She thinks that the illegals should be just, oh, come on in. Anybody? I mean, can the whole world live in America? No. No. Do we want the whole world to live in America? No, because you know what? Then America is going to look like their countries, right? I mean, I drove through the South in some areas that have a lot of an immigration population, a lot of illegals. And I'm telling you, these areas are cluttered with garbage and all sorts of things, and they're not safe. So we don't want our country to look like the country they came from. You come to America, you follow our rules, you go through proper vetting, make sure you don't have any communicable diseases, and, all of it. You got to provide your tax returns. Americans don't want to support more people that don't want to work. They don't. Anyway, I'm preaching to the choir, so I'm going to move on and read the rest of this. It says the real reason they want open borders. Well, we know that. We know that that's why they want the open borders. Number one, they are getting kickbacks from the drug cartels. Oh, yes, they are. Number two, they want the human trafficking for reasons that I don't need to get into. And, also that is where their voters are coming from. So it's three-pronged, really. They want the young blood, so to speak. They want the drug money from the cartels, and they want voters. That way, they stay in power. Their pockets are lined, and you know what their attitude is? America be damned. I'm going to get power. I'm going to get money. America be damned. And that is exactly the attitude we're seeing from them. Follow the maps. Illegal immigrants first. And yeah, they are. They're placing the illegals over Americans that have been born and raised here and have been here for generations. Americans last. Exactly. They are afraid of losing power forever. They should be. Welcome to the Democratic Party. Q. No, thank you. I was going to say, I'd rather die than vote Democrat, but actually, when I die, I probably will vote Democrat. You know how it goes. All the dead people vote Democrat. All right, and let's go up to the next one here, and we've got a link to another Twitter page by Stacy Dash, and this says, The Great Awakening. Attempts to divide will fail. Patriots have no skin color. Q. And they don't. We all bleed red. All right, let's go here. We're getting to the end of these. All right, and this is Stacy Dash. I don't know this person, but what a pretty girl. Anyway, it says, the gentleman speaks a lot of truth. He's correct. He is. And we're all victims of discrimination for supporting Trump. This man, this father, refused to buy into the liberal agenda of all whites are racist and Black Lives Matters crap, nor does he want his children to. So let's take a look at this and listen to this gentleman here. Hang on here.
16 sticker on my car, or Trump Make America Great. 2016 sticker on my car, or Trump Make America Great Again. And people ask me, they'll see me get out the car, they'll go, is that your car? And I go, yeah, it's my car. With the Trump sticker? I go, yeah. They go, you're a Trump supporter? I go, yeah, aren't you? So it's just crazy, man. It's just amazing that I actually have to justify it. And the only reason they ask those questions is because of the color of my my skin. The crazy part is, we use the words like discrimination and racism. We hear them all the time, but the reality of it is, people. I think I'm a victim of discrimination just by the fact that I'm not going with the crowd. The fact that I'm thinking for myself and decided to become a conservative and vote for President Trump, vote for the Republican ticket. I'm a disgrace to my party. Some people think I'm a disgrace to the history of blacks in America, and that's just ridiculous. I was born in 1971. I wasn't a victim of Jim Crow. I didn't have to sit in the back of a bus. I didn't have to do any of that. I think I've grown up in a country where words like that. I'm not saying that racism doesn't exist, but the reality of it, the way that most people want you to think about it, especially people on the left and the Democratic Party, is that it's happening every day. That I can't walk down the street without the fear of some police officer shooting me. It's ridiculous. I mean, I grew up. I have a family. I'm a business owner, and I don't want my daughters to grow up in a country believing that. And that's another reason why we're here today. And we want to just be an example and give other people permission to say, you know what, I'm willing to step out there too, because I don't agree with that stuff, no matter what they say.
And isn't that true? I mean, nobody, if it was a white person that had a Trump sticker, people, the Democrats would just say, well, there's one of those white supremacists. But that narrative doesn't work when it's a black person, does it? And a successful business owner and somebody that can think for himself, yeah. It's interesting. So let's go back to Q. And underneath, he says, the Great Awakening, attempts to divide will fail. Patriots have no skin color. And we're seeing that more and more. I think of people like, Terrence Williams. I don't know, you probably know him. And the other one, Candace, what is her name? Candace. Right now, it's just, I know I follow her on Twitter, but I can't think of her full name. But anyway, these are great examples. They are young black people, and there's another young guy. He's just in high school, but I tell you, that guy is going somewhere. His name is CJ something, young black man, and very, very vocal in their support of Trump, and a real leader, a real role model, not just for blacks, for all young people. They really are doing something and speaking out, which I think is wonderful. So we've got another one here, and this is our last post of, this was actually today's post that, but it was, dropped just a little bit after midnight last night. So let's take a look at this one. And again, Trump says the same thing. Q says the same thing. The Great Awakening, attempts to divide will fail. Patriots have no skin color. Q. The only thing that differs between drop 317 and 318 is the link. So here we go. We're going to look at this one. Hispanics against illegal immigration. There are millions and millions of us, but fake news won't report this, so patriots must. God bless this amazing woman. And here we have a Hispanic speaking up against illegal immigration. And everybody assumes that just because they're Hispanic, they're okay with illegal immigration. That's not the case at all. There's a lot of Hispanics that are standing up and saying, look, I came in the right way. Why can't they? It's not fair. Let's listen to what this lady has to say.
The ones that don't like it, then they should go back to their country where they're from and correct their government instead of trying to correct ours. So therefore, hello to everybody that is out there, freeloaders, get back to your countries. And there's nothing racial that I'm talking about. I'm talking about people that come here, take advantage of food stamps, Medicaid, everything else that comes along. And especially the young ladies, they come and pop the kids here just so they can have the key to the USA. That is no more. I got married young too, and I had only one daughter because I could only afford one daughter. And therefore,
good for her.
You all should limit your amounts to what you can afford and get yourselves a job. Until you get a job, then you know what I'm talking about. In the meantime, there's a lot of illegals that say, why work when everything's given to us? We need to stop accepting so many illegals, and I'm calling from the area of El Paso, Texas, which we have 5 borders of entry, and every day there's hundreds and hundreds of illegals. Here we have attorneys that help them with the visas. They even pay for their visas. We have churches, places where they're immediately, once they're over here, they get housing, they get shelter, they get food, they get a bed, they get medical attention, they even get educated so they can stay. Well, let me tell you, I worked very hard all my life, and you ought to see how I'm living now. Why? Because my money that I earned all through these years is given to all these people that are not even from here. I'm fed up of it, just like a lot of people here in El Paso area are fed up. And God bless you all, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Manny. Are you originally from here?
Yes, I am.
And your parents?
My parents, my mother has been in the United States for 70 years. She's 90 now, and she came legally. She did what she had to do.
From?
Zacatecas, Mexico.
Mexico.
Yes.
Mexican descent.
Yes, and my father is American. So therefore, I was born an American, and I'm proud to be an American. Even though sometimes, believe me, if the government doesn't change.
Yeah, see, that's incredible, isn't it? You know, she came here legally. Her mother came here legally, had her. She was here legally. Her mother married an American. She said, I had one child because that's all I could afford. So, but, you know, I wish everyone had the wisdom of this lady. And so not all Hispanics are for open borders because a lot of them came here legally. They did everything the right way, and they're working hard in America to provide for their families and to afford the American dream. And they're looking at all these people saying, well, yeah, why should we work? Everything's free. And yeah, because that's our money that's going to support these people that just won't work. So there you go. Anyway, that is it for Q for tonight. I don't believe that he has posted any more. I actually hope that he hasn't because I don't want to get too far behind because I can't post tomorrow. And so I'm actually hoping he hasn't posted any more. But let's go check while I'm here to see, just so that we will know for sure. And of course, that doesn't mean that he can't still post because it's 10:45. He's still got an hour and 15 minutes if he so desired. I'm just really hoping I don't have like a ton of catching up to do when I come back on Tuesday. So hopefully not. Takes forever for this to reload. Yeah, we're all caught up. Woohoo! So if Q doesn't post in the next hour and 15, we'll be totally caught up. If he posts tomorrow, I will get that caught up on Tuesday. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate everything. I really do. All the kind comments and how kind you are to one another. That really just warms my heart when I read through the comments and someone mentions that they're going through a hard time and other people say, oh, well, I'll pray for you or, you know, whatever. It really touches me because I think we've got a really good group here. So, and you're kind to one another, and I love to see that because there's just no reason. I see a lot of the pettiness and back and forth on, you know, in other comments on other channels and so forth, and I think, come on, you know, we only have one life, and our time on this earth is so short. Can we not be kind to one another? Really. It doesn't take that much. It only takes a moment to smile at somebody, open a door for somebody. You know, you see somebody struggling for change at a grocery store, you know, give them the change or buy their groceries for them. I've seen people do that, and I've seen how how a person was affected by that. I have a friend actually that was buying a trampoline for his own kids, and this woman in line, and I can't remember what she said or how she said it, but my friend actually really felt that he was supposed to give the trampoline to this woman for her kids, and I think he actually bought her groceries as well. She was really, really struggling, but she broke down and cried. Like the effect on this woman was unbelievable. He had, you know, enough money to go buy another trampoline. But to her, it changed her whole life and the life of her kids because that one act of kindness. So be kind to one another. And I know you are. I see the comments. So anyway, thanks so much. And I will see you guys on Tuesday. I will be back, hopefully, Lord willing. And I hope you will be too. And that's it for tonight. Good night. Sleep well. Stay safe and stay vigilant.